when people have near-death experiences and they say, oh my God, I felt love like I've never known. I felt a love like I've never felt by going to the other side. They were feeling the love that's in them, that we are God. God, universal source, God's love that is in all of us, that we are love. But we don't feel it because we're born into this world where we're closed off to the love. We're closed off to our hearts by fear, by all of the things that we're told that aren't true. So imagine if we all can get to feel God's love before we have to die. If we can feel our own love before we have to take the drastic measure of actually dying to be able to feel that love. We can feel that now, and that's the people that are having these spiritual awakenings. That's what I had, and it was spontaneous, and I believe God just did it for me. Like, it was like this, it's your time to be able to finally be able to feel your own love. And it was the most magical year that I ever had. I felt the love that I am, and I never could feel that. So why wait until we die to feel it? We can feel it now, and we can make it so, well, one, we can all feel it ourselves by having what? Compassion for ourselves, by finding compassion, forgiveness, understanding of ourselves. And then we also will be able to better understand others and have compassion and love for them. And it spreads because we all are one source energy. We just are here with a physical body. Just like if all the air in the whole, our whole, I couldn't think of what it's called. So if all the air in like our hemisphere or whatever, like all the air that we're breathing, the air that us humans are breathing, imagine all of the air is contained within balloons. Say it's hot air balloons, huge hot air balloons, and all the air has been sucked up by these hot air balloons. It's all the same air, right? It's all been taken up by all this air that's all around us at all times. It's going in us, it's going out of us. We're breathing it in and out, all the air. So each hot air balloon is filled with all the air. It doesn't mean that that air is separate from that air. It's only separated by the container that it's in, by the balloon that it's in, right? So when each of us is able to feel love and compassion for ourselves, it heals us, which is all of us, the energy. So as one heals, that's why we can say that we're all healing. So as each heals, your family heals, the people around you begin to heal. And as you spread that loving vibration, wherever you go to the store, and now you're nice. When you used to be mean, you talk to I know personal experience, I talked to the customer service. I used to be so angry. I would get so mad because I was just like, oh my God, they're idiots. And so then I started being nice, and you know what? That spreads, and then they're nice, and then they're nice to the next person. This happened at the airport when everybody was so mad because our flight got delayed, and I was in my middle of my happy spiritual awakening, and I was just like so happy, and I was just shining my light and spreading love and positivity, and I saw it. I saw everybody mad, and I talked to one person, and then that person, I saw their light come on. It's like their spirit lit up. And then the next person, and all of a sudden everybody's laughing and smiling and happy. I see it for myself right in front of me. Like, you can do an experiment. Try that. Do a little experiment. I always get off on tangents when I do this. I get totally off on tangents, but try an experiment. Go somewhere, wherever you're at, if you notice everybody's mad or there's something going on, in a bank or wherever you're at, waiting, you're stuck in traffic, whatever, and you look around, you can start sending energy, or just start, smile at somebody, just a nice smile, and you'll see how things start to shift. At least if not for them, it will for you with your interactions, if you go into things, looking at things differently. So yeah, just imagine if every person in prison could feel their own love. They're not going to get released from prison and be committing crimes. They're going to change their life. And the people who have to be executed, if they have to be executed, they can go with love for themselves, and they will not have to stick around, stuck here roaming earth, trying to get revenge or or they won't have to be here trying to, make up for what they did from the other side. They won't have to be controlling any situation that's going on here on earth. They could be let go with love. So as I go through these towns, it's like how much of this is being controlled. There's different things. So there's people being controlled by dark forces. There's manipulation. So as I was driving, like everything becomes super clear to me, and as I see, it's like huge signs for alcohol, huge signs for cigarettes, fast food, $5. Everything's cheap. And it's literally like you're driving through a concrete jungle. It's just tons of concrete and bright, signs flashing to all the things that cause us to stay in our sickness and to stay in our addiction. It is being flashed. Come get it. Come get it. Vapes, cigarettes, liquor, gambling. This stuff is huge. It's huge. It's all this matrix that is trying to keep us sick, addicted. The dark forces of this world, of this universe, that want to keep us all enslaved, put everything in front of us to keep us sick, unhealthy, and addicted. And I'm guilty of falling prey to it because I still love fast food. I love McDonald's, Burger King. I love candy and chocolate and all that stuff, And so we're like enslaved to it, and the world is not set up. We should be driving down we should be having flowers and plants and beautiful things and healthy fresh vegetables and gardens, and we just don't have that. And some areas are just like the area I'm in right now. It's like, oof, if you live here and you've never seen anything different, it's like there's like no hope. So we have to be able to spread hope, and I think that's why a lot of us are being sent to go to different parts of the country, different parts of the world, to be able to share maybe people or share online, and the people that are able, young people that get on TikTok. Yeah, or we can share online. And, there's places, I think they're called food deserts, where literally the people have never even maybe seen many vegetables. I'll go into a market when I come to a different city from where I grew up. And I mean, now even the city where I grew up will have a lot more variety, but I'll see fruits and vegetables that I've never seen before. And there's so many children and humans that have never been exposed. And the thing is we don't really know. Like, I know how it feels growing up eating corn just out of a can. Well, no, we had corn on the cob too, but basically you just very basic vegetables, the things that we're canned in the factories, not necessarily like fresh vegetables and stuff like that. And also prices are so high now too, but there's so many people who do not have access to good fresh vegetables, fresh food. And I know, just like traveling around, it's difficult with traveling around, but if you lived in small towns where everything is very small scope of expanse, you're not expansive, you really only know what you've learned in your family, what your family before them have known, your church, and everything is very closed-minded. So to be able to reach more people with light messages of love and light and of compassion, and learning how to love yourself, learning how to eat healthier, learning that this is not normal, this isn't how we were supposed to live, and that all of these things are meant to keep us low, to keep us from finding who we really are. Because each person, it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter if you're a peasant or you're a king, it doesn't matter if you're a homeless person on the street. That homeless person on the street may be fully conscious, and you think they're crazy. They're fully conscious. And you, who are the executive of some multi-billion-dollar company, may be the unconscious one. And they know more than you do as far as like the reality of this world, So it's all a perspective. And it's all what we, what we know. And also there's, we also become, humans become prey to whatever you listen to. So we're programmed by the news, we're programmed by our churches, we're programmed by our parents, we're programmed from the school, from the groups that we're in. So we hear things and we're not using our own feeling, our own intuition and what we know, and we are running with it. And that's where you get the mob mentality. This is where you have really, really unconscious people that aren't using their own God power, their own mind. They're following the herd. They are followers. They are not leaders, and they are being they're prey to the darkness, or to people that are being controlled, that want to have their mass following. This is why we see, mob mentality throughout the centuries. Multitudes of people have been murdered, burned at the stake, gladiator times, torturing people. The crowds go wild. Well, this isn't normal. This is like not human. This is not of Christ or of love. So of God. This is not of a human heart that has love. This is the darkness trying to prevail, and it has prevailed for so long because we're unconscious, because we aren't aware of who we really are, because we're told that we're bad and we're sinners from the time we're born. So there's basically like, oh, well, there's no hope for us, so we're just going to be bad, we're just going to party, we're just going to be wild, we're just going to be, doing harmful things to ourselves and others. And well, we just have to go say, oh, maybe you even go and, you say your penance or whatever at church, and it's like, okay, I'm forgiven, then go out and do it again. It's all messed up. The whole concept is messed up. So if we know that we have the power to be loving like Jesus, we all have it, then you have accountability. Then you have to say, oh, okay, well, we're looking up like, oh, like, yes, Jesus was amazing and other ascended masters are amazing. You know why? Because they lived in love and they realized that they were a being of love. And then they were able to be loving to others and be unconditionally loving. They were able to see their higher self and to live within their higher self and see you in your higher self. Instead of judging that prostitute, Jesus was able to sit next to her and talk to her like a human to a human. But we are so judgmental of ourselves that we have to judge everyone around us and condemn them because we condemn ourselves, because we don't have love for ourselves. So yeah, this is where us staying low and unconscious, completely oblivious to the truth of who we are and the truth of love, that we can be manipulated into being workers to keep others up here and keep us down here, the slaves, the worker bees, so we don't actually rise and use our talents and find our gifts and remember who we are and remember how powerful we each are, no matter who we are. So we're able to stay down here with all of the addictions, all of the stuff that keeps us sick, keeps us unconscious, like zombies. Keeps us bringing in money, keeps us buying the alcohol, keeps us buying the fast food, buying all of the junk, which maybe isn't a big money maker, but what is then? The medicine. Then we're able to stay on medicine. And there's just so much to it. But if we could realize who we are and our power, we wouldn't be able to be manipulated. We wouldn't be manipulated into harming others in hordes of people. Now we have it in different ways. We used to have it in like mobs would go murder people, hangings, watching people fight to the death. Now, yes, that kind of stuff still is happening, or, animal fighting, all these awful things that are going on. They wouldn't be able to happen if we were all in our heart and love and consciousness, and we weren't being able to be taken over by such darkness and dark entities and dark energy. if we were in our heart. So this is where we can all, you know, wherever we go, wherever we travel, we can spread that light and we can heal. Others can heal when they're ready, and we can spread that love to people who are going to pass, so that they can be able to pass cleanly into the beyond. And when they are born back into this, if they come back incarnated into this world, they can be a free spirit that can be born into love again. They don't have to wait. We don't have to wait until we die to feel God's love. We can feel it right now. Eckhart Tolle, there's a video I remember seeing, and he was talking about a similar thing. You know, do you want to wait? Do you want to wait until you die to finally feel what that feels like? Or would you like to feel it now? Because you can feel it now.